Yeah, yeah. Good morning. Basically, this LIMS application, it will be useful in the pharmaceutical lab and also clinical labs and also some of the diagnostic centers. Also, they're using this different of LIMS applications. Like we have in the market, 100 plus of LIMS applications are available right now. So. Each environment they will use the different applications, so based upon the business requirements they are using the LIMS applications. Okay, so what is the LIMS so before going to the LIMS, just confirm, are you experienced or fresher? If freshers are more, then I will explain the basics onwards. If you knows the LIMS at least little bit, then we'll go to the direct LIMS. Just ping your inputs, then we'll start. Okay. Okay, then I will tell you just basics of what is the pharma and all. In the pharma, so many, like in pharma department in the QC laboratory, these LIMS will be useful in the QC testing. QC testing. When you are doing the QC testing, whatever the data will be generates data in the QC lab, those data in the will manage in the LIMS application. Okay, so whatever it may be, usually, for example, in intermediate everyone is studied intermediate, right? So in the intermediate, everyone, like our practicals will be there, so each and every practical, we are doing the practical, and after then whatever the data was there, that data we are basically we are generating in the paper. So okay, whatever the practical sessions results, what is the result, everything we are data we are generating in the paper, on the paper. But now it's the application was developed, so whatever data you generated, all the data, what is the procedure data, everything, and including result and all, so it will be, we can generate that data, we can manage in the LIMS application only. Okay, so complete that is the basic thing. Okay, so whatever required data we can manage in that application. Okay, what is the laboratory information management system? Okay, it is a LIMS is a software platform. Already I told, this is the one of the software. In this software, two types of softwares are there, like web based also is there, and also like SaaS based, like cloud based also will be there. So web based and cloud basis later I will explain in the next further class slides. Okay, so in this, it is a software platform. It is designed for the managing the data, and workflows will be there. Some of the workflows like modules will be there, some workflows modules. Based upon that, it will be process will be going on the LIMS. Okay, and also finally result reporting, and also after results reporting we can generate the COA. Okay, either a report like certificate of analysis or either report files we can generate. So majorly this LIMS will be supports to the regulatory compliance. It will be 100% compliance will be, it will support the LIMS application, like GLP and GMP and 21 CFR part 11. Recently 2000, I think 2019, 21 CFR part 11 was updated. So like as a three major rules was updated, like audit trials, and also uh, audit trails and complaints will be more complaints required. So those things they are updated in the, so 21 CFR part 11. Okay, so and then also LIMS application, it will be more configurable, high configurable and modular. So based upon the business requirements, based upon our workflows, we can configure LIMS application, our business requirement, based upon the business requirements. And then use cases where actually this LIMS application where it will be useful. So majorly it will be useful in the pharmaceutical and life sciences for the, like regular testing, either stability testing, either inventories, managing the inventories and all those things, and environmental monitoring, everything for this, for the purpose of this one we are using the pharmaceutical. And then also this LIMS application, food and beverage industries also they will use this LIMS application, and also oil and gas industries also will use this LIMS application. I'm telling about only LIMS, I'm not specifically, I'm not telling any like specific LIMS. Okay, so So what is the power of LIMS? So what is the power of LIMS? Majorly it is a streaming of lab operations. Wherever the lab operations are there, like whatever the testings were doing in the lab, those testings will manage the data and all. So that's why this streaming of lab operations, we will call it as a streaming lab operations. So LIMS offer the sample management from starting to finish, like it is like a sample life cycle. So once the lab sample was generated, from generation to last reporting, and then generating the COA, up to generating the COA, that is the sample life cycle. So it will be completely, it can manage. Okay, then it automates the data capture. It will capture the data. Okay, it automates the data capture and reduces the errors. Maximum it will be reduce the errors in application when you are compared to the paper. So and also real time insights also will be there, and also it will be covers the compliance, the regulatory regulatory affairs and all regulations like 21 CFR Part 11 as per. And then what is the LIMS market growth right now in the market? What is the growth? Okay, in the LIMS growth will be high right now. So but the peoples who are like knowledgeable peoples are very less in the market. Okay, so that's why so many opportunities, if you seen, if you're gone through the LinkedIn or Naukri or any other websites, so it will be like huge opportunities you can able to see. So like so different roles, like a business role, either consultant, either functional analyst, either like master data creators. So many vacancies will be there right now in the market. Okay, right now 2021 28 it will be reached to the limbs, means right now. So all some of the companies, some of the industries using still is a paper based work doing right now. Some of the startup companies, startup pharmas, and some companies now, as per the FDA regulations, they has to convert it to the limbs from paper to paperless. That is called limbs. So okay, so they have to convert from the paper to paperless. So they have to install the limbs application. They has to create that environment. Then they has to performing the lab operations in the limbs only. So that's why up when 2028 it will be convert all the pharma companies or either clinical companies, either food and beverages and gas and oil companies, every company will acquire this limbs application by 2028. Okay, right now already 50% of companies already acquire the limbs application, and then they are right now they are doing the workflows and all they are doing in the limbs application only. Operations is continuing in the limbs application, either either labware, either star limbs, whatever it may be. So now limbs adoption will be is high is there right now in the market. So that's why we can see the more opportunity in the limbs application. So limbs who are having a knowledge of the limbs, then they have a better future. Okay, then and then also key players majorly in the market, what are the limbs applications key key role is playing. So okay, one is the labware and Thermo Fisher and Lab Advantage and Star Limbs. These four applications as is the in market key role is playing. Okay, so if you any one applications, if you have a knowledge on that, then it will be good for you, and then also you can reach out your like reach out to high position. Okay, then next, so for example I will explain about here labware limbs and also thermo limbs also I will explain a little bit on the in between. So okay, so first in this workshop what will discussions, what are the discussions will be there. First is we will discuss with the limbs architecture and technical part, and then coming to the functional workflows, and then end user workflow, what is the end user workflow. Finally will be and the question and answer session will be there. So first already I explained what is the labware limbs or either limbs, both are same. Like limbs is the same, labware is the one of the platform, like one of the application. Also labware is the like a brand name. Okay, so labware is a software platform, same, it will be manage the samples and testing procedures and also lab operations. Okay, it majorly used in pharma and food safety and manufacturing labs, clinical labs, everywhere. It helps to compile with the 21 CFR Part 11 GLP part, GXP part, and then highly configurable with heavy custom programming in the labware limbs. Okay, templates, workflows, and rules, everything will be more in the labware limbs. Even automatic integrations also will be there in the lab to other applications. Labware to other application integrations also will be high. Okay. So and then coming to the labware limbs architecture. If you want to create the any limbs architecture, so majorly I'm explaining about the web based. Okay, in the web based, so we require the, like we require servers, databases, and also like some of the schedulers and IM admin clients also required for the creation of the limbs architecture. Okay. Okay, so first was the client layer. What is the client layer means? If you're seeing the labware client, sometimes labware client will give the some like citrix, so we can call it as like a citrix layer. Okay, we can this application we can use through the citrix layer only. Okay, then citrix platform, citrix server, and then coming to the application server, that is application server complete to the labware limbs application. So whatever application things required, those all application requires we need to configure in the application server. So related to labware, like files installations and active directories works, and also some of the schedules attached into the limbs application, and also IM admin client, instrument management, like integration manager. Those integration managers also we need to configure with the application layer. And database layer also compulsory required. By why? Because so every application, only application is not sufficient to manage the data. So compulsory one database management system is required, either relational database management or non-relational database management. Any one database management compulsory required to the limbs application. So once the application server was created, we need to configure with application server and database. Okay, we need to configure both. Then whatever the we enter the data in application itself, those data will goes to the database, and then it will be stored in the database. Okay, so that's why we need to create the database layer also. And after then integration layer. So this is the integration layer, like so we need to configure with some of the SAP application, some of the like other like ERP or MES, so and W or Power BI, we are integrated to this limbs application to the other applications. Okay, even lab operation applications also, like Empower, either lab solutions, any software. So we are integrating with that to that. So for that, this integration also, whatever you done the integration server, you need to integrate with the application layer. Okay, that flowchart I will explain later. And then reporting layer, that is the crystal reports server, like crystal reports we need to create. So after completion of the data, we need to create the we need to generate the crystal like reports, like COS, we would call it as a crystal reports. So in the backend we are call it as a crystal reports. So for this crystal report layer will be helpful for the creation of the uh, COS or reports. Okay, first we will web access browser, like a labware client. So initially we need to configure the citrix server. Okay, we need to create the citrix server, we need to install the create citrix server, and then after installation we need to verification, need to do the citrix server. Once the citrix server was done, side by side we can do the application server also. Same application server also, some of the applications developer, whatever the labware developer will give the application files. With that applications files, we need to install that files and all, like how you are installing any application from the Play Store, same like that. So labware will provide the some of the application files, either labware, either thermosonic, or either lab advantage. This is the common. So those files we need to take, and then we need to step by step we need to follow, and we need to configure the each application. So once the application was installed, so okay, once the application was installed, then we need to do the verification, that is the testing side. So that later I will explain once the configurations was done. Then application, once the application was built up, then this application, into this application we need to create this database server and instrument manager and crystal report server. These servers also we need to create separately. After once the creation of these all servers, those servers we need to integrate with the lab application server. Okay, what is the lab application server is there, that application server, those instrument manager and database servers, all. So whatever we created the required database servers and instrument managers and crystal report server, These applications we need to integrate with the application server, means we need to build up with the application server. Once server is completed, all these completed servers and all, then we'll go to the LDAP or AD. AD means Active Directory. So once those are done, then we will server authentication to server we will do, like Active Directory we will perform the Active Directory. So with the basis of load balance, okay, load balance activity will be there for the integration. With the use of load balance, we are integrating with those applications with the all those authentication means Active Directory. Once this was done, then we can we can integrate with the this instrument manager. Especially with the instrument manager, we can integrate with the SAP or ELN or ERP or any MES, any W or Power BI. So all dashboards we can integrate with the instrument manager. For this, we need to create the schedulers and all. Even after creation of scheduler servers also, we need to attach it to the application server. Why? Because so schedules should be run in the application only. So that's why we are creating the application in the server. Okay. Once this is the simple flow chart of architecture. Here so many steps will be there, all those steps I cannot explain within the 1 hour. So yeah, completely this is the flow. In this step by step, so many steps will be there, like 100 plus of steps will be there for every application server creation and database server creations. What are the things required? So which SQL base we are using? Toad applications also we will use the Toad also. So based upon the Toad, we will run the some queries, and also some of the installation steps will be there. Those steps we need to follow, and then we need to configure this application server. Once this application server was done, so then our application server will create. In the testing side, same, like everything, one schedule will run, and then in the load balance, so we will check that load balance is working or not, and everything data is capturing or not in the application. We are checking simply in the testing side. Okay, majorly first initially we will create the one application server. After that, already existing database, sometimes already existing database, some environments having already one database, so we will check with that database. Otherwise we can duplicate the database server, and then same database server we can duplicate. Then we need to integrate with application with database. Okay, whatever the duplicated database is there, that database we can use for the testing purpose. Why? Because existing database we should not use for the testing. Why? Because already that is in the production stage, or some maybe already this that is running database. So we are not using that running database. Why? Because some debugs will come, and then also some errors will arise. So that's why we are not using that database. So we can duplicate the database, and then whatever the duplicated database we are using for the testing purpose. Okay, that is the completely configured. That is the labware application server. Coming to the IAM, already I explained. If any instruments are there, we are using that instrument with the use of a CSV file or TXT file or XML files. We are using to integrate with the instrument manager. Okay, application we will integrate to the application. Okay, so for this we are using some of the parsers files. So for this integration purpose, we are using some parsing scripts for especially with the lab application servers. I'm not explaining SAP and all. SAP will be different case. So this is the different case. Lab application will be for example lab applications, either HPLC or PHmeter or balance, whatever it may be. We need to create the one parsing script. Parser we need to create, and then once they created the parser, we can extract the result from the application. Okay, some instrument, whatever the empower application, either lab solution application, based upon that application, so we can extract the result from empower to limbs. Okay, if you are mapped correctly. So okay, so for this I will show you one parsing script example, parsing script, how we can develop this parsing script. Okay, this is the a parsing script. Okay, this, if you see in this one, sample ID, test name, result value, and result unit. So for example, you want the data from limbs, so you want from empower to, from HPLC to your limbs, results should transfer from empower to limbs. Then this is the case. Okay, this is the sample ID, this is the test name, this is the result, this is the units. These all those things should come to from empower to limbs. So in this case, we will generate a parsing script. We will create the one parsing scripts like this. parsing script we will create. In the parsing scripts, whatever the things we required, like we require sample id, we require test name, and as a we require result type, and also we require the result unit also. All those things should come from the empower to limbs. Okay, so here we given the define the variables. Some of the variables we defined. Okay, what are the variables we defined? So these are the variables. We call it as a variables, as a, these are the variables like sample id, test name, sample id, test name, and result value and result unit. Those are the variables, major variables. Okay, so what is the dim? Dim means we are attaching the create the variable to hold. So whatever the csv, we need to csv files actually results are extracted from csv files or xml files or text files, txt files. So for that file from it should come from the sample id, should come from the that file only. So for that purpose we are giving the dim, you are using the dim clause, and then we are using this sample id, means we are pulling the sample id from the csv file. So how, as a string value, we are using, means whatever the sample id is available in the csv file, that one will comes to the limbs application as it is, should not change anything, without changing anything, like either 5 digits or 2 digits or 3 digits, whatever it may be in the csv file, that one will comes to the limbs application. Okay, so after then once come to this one, we skip the header line and read lim. We can skip the first header. After then it will read out it. So whatever the result will comes to the from the limbs, from the empower, that when it will read the limbs. And then after then what will do, loop through each line of the file. In the file, whatever the sample id, test name, result value will be there, each line will check, and after then it will be trigger here. Okay, everything will be read it here, and then after going to the read from the csv file, and then going to the, it will go to the labware application. Okay, in labware application it will be find the sample, exactly what sample, so which sample it should to go to the which sample. So it will be find the sample in the system, and then whatever the sample id it will be matched, then it will be true, it will be matched to the correct test and sample, it will transfer the result. So everything like test name and sample, result value and units, you will check here, find the sample in the system, it will check in the system. After then what are the result, test sample id, and everything will move to the from empower to the result. After then save, result will save. Okay, automatically it will, the result will save, and then we can take it, print means it will be visible in the system. So, okay, what are the result is there and all. Okay, the here is a result unit is a optional, sometimes units required, sometimes units not required. So based upon the units it will be trigger system. And then next, this is the example. So each line, everything, whatever in the parsing script you developed the parsing script, each line it will be read it out first, the sample id, everything variables we created correctly or not, and then in the system also it is correctly you mapped the parsing script or not, whatever the tables will be there, those tables you need to map correctly. Then so sample id it will be matched, then it will transfer from empower to limbs. Okay, so configuration details. So these are the instrument setup and device driver and all those things. Majorly will instruments also we can integrate with the this one, and also printer drivers. Some device drivers means printer device. Some of the times printer device also like report or like port based file time, we need to do the printer device drivers. So in this printer device driver also we need to create the parsing scripts. Okay, we need to create the parsing scripts, and for the parsing script only, if you after creation of parsing script only, results from extract from application to limbs. Okay, and then parsing rules will be there, how to rule the delimiter and layout will be, some of the files will be there, some of the reading rules will be there, those rules should pass. Okay, then also mapping table will be there, so we are linking to the file. So whatever the csv file, either xml file or the txt file, we need to link to the test fields. Okay, we need to link to the test fields. So that is the that we need to check that mapping table, and then we need to create the parsing script. After then error handling. So error logs, anyway we need to handle that errors, whatever the debugs will come. So either XML file, either configure file, whatever that what are the error we need to check. Error will pop up there once the after creation of parsing script. Once you done the testing time, that whatever the error will shows you, that error will shows you. Based upon that error, we can check it out backend parsing script and all. Then you can fix it out that error. The debug errors will be there, comes sometimes. And then coming to the scheduling. Scheduling means you will create the scheduler server. I told you now, you have to create the schedule server. So after then schedule server, you have to create you have to integrate with the application server. Once the scheduler server you map to the application server, so then what will happen, every based upon the time, if you are giving the 24 hours or weekly basis, based upon when you are creating the schedule, that time you have to configure like 24 hours or 48 hours, like that. So and also which module means which table fields has to be scheduled, that also you have to give in the scheduler. So based upon that scheduler server creation time, scheduler will run automatically every 24 hours. So after every server was like running the server, so automatically after then samples will generate in the LIMS application. So like example, like either EM modules every day should generate the samples, environmental monitoring. So that time what will happen, LIMS application automatically, once you are fix it out in the schedule time, like 24 hours, every 24 hours this sample sample should generate. So if you created that schedule, automatically samples will generate. Okay, this is like I am telling, this is the web based. Okay, like SaaS based is different, is there, like cloud based LIMS application is different. Okay, this is like web application, web based I am telling. Web based time you have to create the scheduler server. If is application based, then you can schedule create in the application itself, you can create it. That also one more option will be there. Some of the schedules we need to create with the server only, some schedules. Okay, so those schedules we need to create in the schedule servers. Okay, and coming to the what is subroutine. So now you are creating the parsing script. Yes, parsing script and subroutines is like is a interlinks. Okay, subroutine is like a single task. Okay, specific task or single task. Okay, subroutine is very small, so we no need to like in the parsing script itself, no need to give the complete one. Okay, when you are creating the parsing script that time. So for that purpose, what we'll do, we will create one subroutine. So we'll create the one subroutine. So we in this subroutine we will map to the parsing script, very simple way. Okay, I will show you that one example. So if you see here like some example will be, I will show you. This is the like a parsing script. Okay, this downside whatever will be there, this is the parsing script. If you see this one is the parsing script. So we developed parsing script like this, means subroutine. Okay, subroutine we are creating like parse as a CSV line. CSV means like it is a CSV, like is a file. Okay, CSV file. From this file, what are the required line data? These are the tables. So line data is the table, and then string is the one of the data type. Okay, string is the one of the data type, and then also sample ID. So string is the data type, and also test name, that is the table, and also string. So from this parsing line, so based upon the CSV whatever file, CSV file, so this table whatever the data is there, string data, and then also how it will be out, and then sample ID also it will capture, and all those things will capture here, sample ID and test name, result in unit. After then we are giving the subroutine, we are closing. So once the CSV file from this one will extract the data. Okay, and also like that after extracting data, it will be should be validate that result. Okay, so in this application only it will be validate the result, whatever the value will be there, that value is correct or not with the basis of the limit. So it will be less than 0, then error, invalid result. If is more than 0, like example is a result is more than 0 should come. So then in this case we are creating like this, we we are validating the result. So okay, after validating the result should be saved in the database, LIMS application database. Okay, for this purpose we are creating one subroutine. So like save result LIMS, whatever the sample id and what is the data type, what is the test name, everything. So whatever we mentioned here, so all those things we need to mention, and this is the like completely subroutine. We are creating subroutines. So in this subroutines, for extract from result from CSV file, we are creating this subroutine, and then also validate the results, we are creating one more subroutine, and also we are creating for the result saving these subroutines we created. Okay, so in the subroutines, this is the subroutines. In the parsing script, this subroutine we can include in the parsing script, very simple case like this. If you see in this here, this is the varchar, this is the one of the like data type, and varchar is the like varchar means either numeric, either text, whatever it may be. So this is the line text, this is the string. I told you string is the data type. This is the common main script. After then you have to read each line of the file. So once you are mapping these subroutines, no need to you can in the file, no need to read the all the lines. Okay, directly subroutine it will take here. So here read line text do skip header line, and then this is the like header. We are giving the header here. This subroutine we are created for the header one. Okay, after once header was done, then what are the result should come. Okay, so if you see here, parse the line. Okay, what are the parse the line? So compulsory result should from the CSV file. Okay, so no need to like here it will skip automatically the sample id, line text and all. So whatever the file line file will be there, it will be skip here. Why? Because we are mapping the subroutines into the parsing script. Okay, so already in the subroutine time, already data will extract here all those things like line data, every table will check here only. So again no need to check in the parsing script. So that's why here what will give only parse line text, sample id, test name, result value, unit. Okay, parse the line. Why? Because here we given parse line. Okay, so here we given parse line, so that's why we are giving here parse line. When you are giving this parse line here, we are mapping automatically whatever data was generated here, all those things whatever you want, line data, sample id, automatically it will trigger here, it will extract here. Once this one extracted, after then what we need to do, we need to validate the result. Okay, no, so these all coding no need to write. Okay, this coding no need to write. Whatever the like clause will be there, this clause we will use validate result. Validate result we will use the clause, and finally what we want, result value we want. Okay, result value we want. So this result value we need to configure. After then coming to the LIMS saving. So we are creating here as a like a subroutine, we are creating like as a save result to LIMS. Okay, so this one directly we are mapping to the here, and then what are the sample id, test name, result value, and it should come. So all will trigger here. Okay, this is a simple way. Once we created the subroutine, these subroutines we can use in the parsing script for the simplifies the parsing scripts. So anyway we need to create, but these all things if you're we can generate these all, we can we can create these things in the parsing script also. But when you are creating here parsing script, some uh, errors will pop up, more errors will pop up. So that's why we are creating one subroutine table. After once the creating this table, we are mapping this subroutine table into the parsing script. Okay, and then okay, this is the same what I explained right now. So uh, this is the test case scenario. I told you, no, this is the whatever the sample required, those sample tables and test names all will trigger in the first initially subroutines. After subroutines to parse, based upon the parsing script, results will transfer to the parsing script. Okay, And coming to the labware functional workflows, if you see in the functional workflows, like as a functional means application will use user side like that, either static data peoples or either end user peoples. Whatever activity will done by the static data peoples and then end user peoples, that is called as a functionals. Okay, functional work. Whatever the architecture creation of servers who are working on the servers and schedulers and also this. Parsing scripts, subroutines, these works who will do, those peoples are the technicals. Okay, and then one more is there like a consultants works. Consultants works means they will not any develop any scripts and they will not develop any like modules and all, so they will not create static data also. They will check only errors, they will only check the errors, they will like if any upgradations required, if anything some modifications required, so consultants will take care of the support work like application, if anything required the support works and all, those works will take care by the consultants. Okay, and then functional workers like they will create the master data like whatever the data required for the end users. Okay, whatever the data required for the end users, they will create the some workflows they will create in the LIMS application, then end user can able to access that, they can enter the results and all. Okay, in the labware functional workflows, these are the will be there like stability management, sample and test management, stability management, inventory management, environmental monitoring, instrument equipment and management. These are the modules, those modules will be useful in the functional workflows. And coming to the master data setup. Okay, okay, coming to the master data setup, static data management. So first initially we need to create the test creations, like after then specification creation. Like test creation means as per STP as per STP we are creating the test creations. So in this LIMS application only some of the tables will be there, we are configuring some table like explore tables and all, so those tables we can use it and we can create the tests. Okay, test, we can create the test as per STP procedure, each individual tests. After then once the each individual test was created, then we need to create the specification. Okay, means specification means like is a table is the like some of application having a spec, some of applications having a product table. So based upon the application configure of based on business requirements how they configure, so based upon that which table required, that table we are using and we are creating the specification, means either product or either specification we call it as a. So in this specification, as like pharma in every like doing every means if any testing required, so we need compulsory one procedure, and then also we need some criterias, means like some results also required. So criterias will be made in the specification, and then test procedure will be made in the test creation, test procedures. So as per procedure we are creating tests, as per controls we are creating the specification, and then also specification having a multiple tests. Okay, STP also multiple tests will be there, but we are creating each individual test in the tables. After then each individual test we created, after all the whatever the tests required to the specification, we are creating only single spec. So we are mapping all tests to the single specification. Okay, these are we are using the explore tables, and we are in the test creation time we are using the sum of we need to create the some components. So as per STP we need to create the components. After then components creation we need to attach to the data types. Okay, we need to attach to the data types, and after then we need to map the some properties, either calculated properties, either numeric, either whatever it may be, and then also we need to instrument mapping and all we can do from here only, for here only. Okay, so this is the master data creation. Okay, and then coming to the specification creation. So what are the tests we created already, so those tests we need to map to the spec. Okay, and then also some of the controls also we need to give in here only in the specification itself, means for the OS and OOT generations. Okay, for the OS and OOT generation purpose we are giving here controls. Okay, and then batch creations will be there. This batch creation will be like means some of the persons will perform the multiple samples with the single time. Okay, multiple samples creation time. So some of the major procedure will be common, and only like sample anyway we need to perform compulsory. So but common procedure will be there, like simple example I can tell you, like HPLC. If you are performing the any HPLC test, in that mobile phase is common for the all samples, and also standard preparation will be common for the all samples. In this case, uh, majorly if you are creating, if you are performing the 10 samples, okay, if you are performing the 10 samples, you can perform the 10 samples with the same mobile phase, same standard. In that case, in the application itself, no need to create like no need to perform all the mobile phases for the every sample. First mother sample you can prepare the whatever the solutions required, those solution we can, you can give reference to the other samples. For that purpose these batch creations are useful. Okay, and then this is the modules I told you, know, that sample management module, majorly sample management module will be useful for the track the samples. Okay, registration and unique IDs will generate, and from the barcode also it will be generate sample, and then we can check that sample is generated or not. So we can track the samples with the barcode or unique IDs. And then test management, we can we need to assign the test. What are the tests required, either pH, either description, either HPLC, whatever the tests required to the perform, those tests we need to assign, and we need to perform the uh, test in the test management module. Sample management module only sample generation. Okay, both two also, some industries will configure both as a single, like as a lot. In this sample also will generate automatically, and test also will automatically, it will assign to the specific sample. Okay, that is also simple configuration. And then coming to the result entry and validation. So anyway, result entry, once the sample was generated, once the test was assigned to them, then components will create there in the test assignment. Under test it will be components will come. I told you in the master data creation time we will create the components as per procedure with some of the data types. Okay, so based upon the data types, here data entry we can visible, so we can enter the data in there. This is the end user workflow. Okay, result entry. So result entry will be taken care by the end user. Okay, why? Because he has to prepare the samples, he has to perform the testing, so that's why he has to do the result entry. So he will do the data entry and calculations, auto calculations, and out of specification means out of specification results if comes, automatically flag will on, so automatically trigger the to the analyst. So this is the happened, like OVS generated or OVT generated. And then coming to the inventory management, this is the module. So this one will be the track the reagents and chemical standards and expiry and usage. So completely this inventories. Okay, so for this purpose in the master data we are creating the some stocks and all. Based upon the stocks we will stock table we will use this inventory management. After then these reagents and chemicals and the standards we can track very easily. Okay, in the inventory management module. Coming to the instrument management module. So instrument management module, so if you want to do the testing in the lab application, so instruments are compulsory required. So with the basis of instrument, in the instrument only we are performing the analysis. So all instruments require the calibrations and preventive maintenance and all require the instruments. So in this instrument management we can we can manage the instrument, how many instruments are there, so what is the calibrations date, what is the PM dates and all we can do in this instrument management. Okay, and then coming to the reporting and certifications, we are going to the reporting and certification. Once the data result was entered by analyst, so once they reported, we can generate the COA. For these COA generations, I told you crystal reports we need to create, and we need to create crystal reports, and we need to provide to the end user. What are the reports we created? Those reports we need to provide to the end user. He will use that report and he can generate the COAs. Okay, crystal reports. For the crystal report purpose, we need to create the some arguments and some arguments. After then creation of arguments, we need to map these arguments. What are the all those arguments we need to map to the query tag. Once the we map to the query tag, this query tag we need to map to the SAP files. Okay, SAP files we need to map. Then SAP integration files will be there. Once we mapped that one, so automatically result will go to the SAP. Okay, so that is the like simple crystal report creation that will be use like used huge knowledge will come from the for the crystal report creation. It was a big uh, um that is the big story, that is the crystal report creations and all. And coming to the quality assurance, it is not a module, it is like a deviation, like a in the LIMS application also quality assurance module will be there. Like uh, we can track the OS, we can track the OOT, means we can manage the data also here. No need to other application not required, like track wise some of the QMS elements they can use in the some other applications like trackways and majorly QMS, quality management system module they will use, and they will do in the deviation management and all they will do in the that application. But labware LIMS will provide the quality assurance module. That module also we can you can use, and you can close the OS and close the OOTs and all in the within the LIMS application also. Okay, that is the quality assurance module. And then coming to the regulatory compliance, that is not a module. So those regulatory compliance should follow the all the modules. Okay, all the GXP modules. And then coming to the sample and test management, this is the like a end user support. Once you done the sample creation, once you created the sample, then unique IDs will create, and then we can do the sample result entry. Okay, and then test also will assign automatically to the sample. Otherwise you can assign to the test to this particular sample, and then you can uh, do the result entry. You can monitor the results and all. Okay, once the result entry done, we need to do the review verification. After then, if review verification nothing found OS or not, if OS is found, automatically when your result entry, then only it will trigger OS is generated or not. But anyway, further verification required, review is required. Once they reviewed that sample, we can generate the COA. Okay, so if OS is handled, if OS is generated in the LIMS, automatically it will be trigger in the quality assurance module. I told you na. So it will generate in the module. Okay, then once the generated in the module, so we can track the deviations and all deviation management. Either OS procedure will be there na. So as per STP, we can procedure, we can do their what are the like some testings required. So those testings we can perform in the LIMS application only. Okay, and coming to the step by step flow for the sample life cycle. So initially we need to log the sample. After logging the sample, we need to assign the test to the specific sample. After then we need to conduct the analysis. So whatever the test we are using, we need to conduct the analysis. After conducting the analysis, we need to like report the results. We need to report it. After then review and approve. This is the simple life cycle of sample life cycle. Okay, if you are even asking the sample life cycle, this is the sample life cycle. Okay, and then coming to the stability management, stability management is a huge topic. And then this is very important, stability management. Why? Because stability study is required for the pharma products. Okay, it will be checks the shelf life, it will be checks the expiry, the product expiry, and product stability also will be checked with the other conditions also, with the different conditions, and also uh, different storage conditions and different intervals. So based upon the stability will management module will useful for the in the LIMS. Like how it will be stability management, when you are loading the stability, like once new batch is come, one in pharma company, simply I am telling just one new product is developed by R&D. R&D team was developed one of the new product. Okay, once the new product was developed, so then new product has to be manufactured. Okay, so that once the batch was started, batch means once the like um, how means example tablets, we need to like we need to manufacture the tablets. 100 of tablets we need to manufacture. Okay, that is the new product. First time we are doing this tablets. First time we are manufacturing the tablet. When you are manufacturing the first time, then you need to load the stability samples also. Why? Because in that whatever you manufacture tablets, that tablets you need to test it, that batch was means that samples was stable or not. So how many months it was stable, how many months which conditions it was stable, all those things we need to track it out. So that's why when the new batch was generated, once the new batch was done, then that batch we need to load in the stability chambers. Okay, we need to load in the stability chambers. What is the stability chambers means? Chambers will be different conditions will be having. So okay, so like 21 25 60 or 40 75 or 30 65. So different conditions will be there. In all the conditions, this we are these tablets, whatever the tablets you manufacture, those tablets we need to place it in the chambers. Okay, after placing the chambers, every 3 months we need to perform the testing. Means we need to perform the testing. Why? Because product was product, how much quality is there. So we're checking that product. So that's why every 3 months we are test it up to 1 year. After 1 year we need to test it 6 months once. After second year we need to create the we need to analyze every yearly. Okay, up to 36 months or 48 months we can test. So for this purpose, stability management, so every time we can go to the stability chambers, we cannot check that sample was it was 3 months done or 6 months done or 9 months done, testing required or not, we cannot check manually. So that's why this stability management will module will helpful for the auto creation. Like once you have planned, so for the one batch was created, first batch was created. For the first batch you have to do the 3 months and 6 months, like 3 months or 6 months you have to do. So first you have to plan it out. First you have to create the protocol. First, once you created the protocol, so protocol means like what are the which conditions you have to perform and which months you have to perform, all those things you have to map in the protocol. And then the different creations, once the plan was done, once the protocol was done, then you have to create the study. Okay, study you have to create. In the study you are mentioning is like a 3 months or 6 months you have to map, and also which tests are required. So in the stability testing, all tests are not required. Some of the particular tests only required. Okay, major tests required for the to check the expiry of the product, quality of the product. So those tests we need to map in the study. Once the study was done, we need to run the study. Once the study was run, so automatically the stability management module will helpful for the automatically when the time is comes. So as per the study, so automatically 0 months. So initially you have to test it on the 0 month. So what will happen? 0 month samples will generate automatically, and then third month automatically it will generate. Also 6 months will generate, like that, based upon whatever the you given the timelines, time intervals. Based upon the time intervals, automatically samples will generate in the limbs only automatic. No need to go and no need to check manually either is come means date is comes or not. Okay, why? Because multiple products will be there in this single company. It will generate multiple creates a multiple products. Yes, so that's why this module will be helpful for the auto tracking, easy tracking of the stability samples and all. After then, once the stability completed 36 months or 48 months it was completed, then all the like where what are the results for the all months of results, we need to create the trend. For this stability management module, we can map to the stability management module to the Tableau or Power BI. Once you this stability management, if you are integrated with the Tableau or Power BI, automatically what will happen? So every month which test what what is the result, everything will be shown in the only single dashboard. Okay, single dashboard it will shown in the Power BI or Tableau. Okay, so if integration is there with us stability management, otherwise in the LIMS application only we can generate the one report, like a stability compilation report, we can compile the data. So each month what is the result, anywhere failed or not, we can check in the trend data. Okay, we can check in the single dashboard also, that is like a Tableau or Power BI if you are integrated with Power BI. Okay, and then this is the like a simple workflow of the means study we need to design, and then time point schedule we need to do, and then what are the testings required, those testings we need to map in here also. The sample allocation done and the conditions was done, then automatically testing will perform. Then once the testing will perform, reporting in documents and result evaluation will happen. Okay, like this also we can do, or either we can do the like this also. Okay, and then inventory management, already I explained inventory management, like limbs is we can manage the physical materials. Okay, wherever the so many solvents, so many standards will be there, those materials you cannot go there and you cannot check. Why? Because in the lab 100 people are working, so some people will work that will use that solvent, remaining how much use there you cannot check. So you can check in the application itself. Why? Because how much ml you use, that much ml he compulsory has to enter in the limbs application. Once he entered the like in the limbs, then automatically remaining sample, remaining stocks how much is there, that much we can see in the automatically in the inventory management. Okay, like simple SQL I'm telling, if you want to like if you want some of the like 100 lots are there, 100 lots at a time you have to check the what is the quantity will be there, what is the expiry date, what is the location will be there. So if you want to check that one, you can run this SQL query, inventory item, what is the lot number, you have to mention here lot numbers, all the lot number, year, quantity, expiry date, location, like usage, how much consumed in test, and also which tests how much quantity used also it will come for the for this SQL, and also expiry will come and also reorder will come. So this in and before and on, usage, expiry and reorder, these are the clauses of SQL clauses. Okay, so based upon these clauses automatically data will come. Okay, coming to the instrument management, same, so tracking and scheduling and controlling and everything, so calibration, maintenance, all will be here only, instrument management. Equipment life cycle, this is the equipment life cycle in the limbs. Like we need to register the one equipment, if new equipment is comes we need to register. After then we need to qualify, means IQ, OQ, PQ, we need to qualify for the instrument. After completion of IQ, OQ, PQ, we need to routine use, we can use for the routine use. After then routine use, when the instrument is going to the routine use, then after then we need to fix it out the calibration. Why? Because how required for us food is every like 3 hours or 4 hours, how required to us body, like instrument also, if instrument is should work perfectly, then calibration is compulsory required. So for that calibration we need to create the schedules and all. So based upon the schedules automatically like samples will generate. Okay, calibration schedule means you are creating there 6 months or 4 months, like that you are scheduled. So once your schedule was done, then you automatically samples will generate in the instrument management module. Okay, in this module we can track the samples, what are the samples are there for the calibration for next month or next 10 days, what are the samples is there, we can check it out, and then we can perform, we can plan accordingly for the analysis. So and also preventive maintenance also required for the each and every instrument. And then if any decommission is happened, decommission also procedure will be helpful in the instrument manager. Once the decommission, we need to remove that instrument from the limbs also. For that purpose some procedure will be there, we need to follow that procedure and we need to remove that instrument from the limbs. Okay, if physical is not available, that is the decommissioning. And then coming to the environmental monitoring, majorly will be track the lab cleanliness and also some of the manufacturing site, so wherever the like water is there, wherever the like water or either some of the majorly water will use for the manufacturing site, so that water we are testing. So for that purpose environmental monitoring will help for the how much cleaned water is there, how much free of microbes or not, if it will be checked in the environmental monitoring, either this water is contaminated or not, it will perform the testing. So in this we need to some monitoring flow will be there. Like first we need to create the sampling plan. EM module we need to create the sampling plan, we need to create. After creating the sampling plan, we need to schedule the event, means how many days it should schedule run. Every 24 hours should run or every 48 hours should run, like that. One event we need to schedule. After event schedule, sample automatically samples will we need to collect it. Once the samples was generated, samples we need to collect and we need to logged. Okay, once we need to collect that sample and we need to receive that sample. Once they receive that sample, we need to perform the analysis. Once they perform the results, you will enter the result in their components. Then that results you need to compare to the like every day you have to compare results as perfectly work, means coming or not within the acceptance criteria is there or not, we need to check. After then OAS and deviation. So if any OAS or deviation is happened, then we will go to the quality assurance module and then we can log the one OAS and OT. So we can log, or otherwise automatic is there, automatically it will log. So there we can see that OS number and all in the LIMS only. Then we can further procedure we can follow in the LIMS application. And then trending and reporting with the like EM module we can integrate with Power BI. So automatically trending and reporting dashboards will show in the Power BI. So based upon the results. Okay. So and then this is the completely LIMS. So functional works and technical works and all those things. uh, right now opportunities in the LIMS market is huge. Opportunities are will be there, like high demanded skills. LIMS experts are very less compared to the opportunities. Okay, right now is more opportunities are available if you see in the different like portals. And also cloud based LIMS and SaaS modules are popular majorly. So cloud based and SaaS models will be the more popular. This labware will be the SaaS modular. Okay, this this SaaS modular the um, labware is the SaaS modular. Cloud based LIMS also will be there. Some of the LIMS cloud based. Okay, like as a different application, that is the basic different applications like example Azure or AWS. Those are the cloud bases. AWS and Azure and Google Cloud, those are the cloud based. Okay, those are the cloud based LIMS. So SaaS modular very popular. Why? Because SaaS modular will be the more compliance and also more configurations. High configurations will be there. Okay. In cloud basis, no need to maintain any servers and all. But in the SaaS models, we need to maintain the servers and schedules and databases and all. Okay. So we can this one integrate with systems. Different integrations also will be there. MES and SAP and TrackWise also will be there. If you know this integration, then opportunities will come more. Okay, if you added in knowledge in the integration, then it will be helpful for you to get the job in softwares. Okay. And then present currently in the LIMS professional salaries right now will be here, like averagely if you are seeing in the US as a LIMS analyst, $75 to $95 they will provide per year. Average US LIMS analyst, this is the LIMS analyst only. If you are going to the consultant, it will be go to the 90,000 to 1,20,000. If you are going to the business analyst role, it will be more than 2 lakhs dollars will be there if you are going to the business analyst in the US or Netherlands, whatever other countries. In India, maximum will be the 4 lakhs to 60 lakhs will be the like salary. Will start with 4 lakhs and will end with the 60 lakhs with the high position. Okay, so this is the yearly packages. Like in the application, means in this different roles will be there, like a LIMS analyst role will be there, consultant, and then business analyst, and also a technical expert, SME. So many roles will be there. Based upon the role, so salary will be there. Okay. And then yeah, some other peoples are uh, so many people are thinking from transferring from pharma to software. So that time what we need to do, so we need to add some knowledges, we need to add into our uh, resume within ourselves. Why? Because some of the people's pharma people's especially in the software, opportunities will be high, okay, in software. So which people they will hire? Maximum they will hire pharma peoples. Why? Because for the limbs application, if you have a background activity, if you knows the basics of the analytical part, that is the more added. Why? Because you know complete the procedure, what is the analytical procedure, what is the stability, what is the everything instruments, everything you know. But whatever the normal person doesn't know. Normally software persons these modules and all doesn't know. So how it will be end user will works, and end user workflows doesn't know. So that's why pharma like softwares right now, uh, more value are giving for the pharma people. So if you want to transfer from pharma to software, you have to improve your knowledge in the different. So like SQL, either Power BI, or either technical part. You want to learn those things. If you learn those things, it will be useful for you only. It is very easy to transfer from pharma to software. And also software peoples, also some of the software peoples are there. So those peoples also should know about the end user workflows and all. So those, if you knows that workflows, it is easy to easy to do work completely. So these schedules and workflow on this, so everything very easy. Why? Because you have a knowledge of pharma and then application. Both if you having, then it's very easy to close your task within the on timeline. So okay, that is the major. So that's why I'm telling, leverage your existing whatever the lab knowledge is there. That lab knowledge you have to leverage it, and then you have to acquire the new knowledges for the limbs skills. Okay, configurations, database management, and then also uh, like uh, some of the architecture works and all you have to learn. SQL, JavaScript, scripts also will be used. So parsing script will be useful for based upon the JavaScript only they will generate the parsing scripts. So those things if you learned, it will be useful. Okay, then yeah. So training program, how where we need to take these trainings and all, some people's having a doubt. So training program, if you want training program, you can connect with me directly one to one. I will explain about this training program and all. So then you can decide it is required training program or not. So we are providing the training programs like SAP and then LIMS. So future in soon CSV also will start. So right now we are providing the SAP and also LIMS. In SAP, we are giving the quality management and QM and PP module, and then also SD module. So okay, it will cover the S4 HANA also. It will covers. So this is the completely SaaS, and also including we are giving the SAP server, especially for the SAP. We are giving the server also for the tryout. Okay, SAP. If you want to learn the SAP, basically complete SAP. If you want to learn the QM module or PP, and then also SD, sales distribution. Why? Because we are three. I'm explaining. Why? Because in the current market, in the current opportunities, SAP, QM and PP and the SD module will be the high. So that's why I'm suggesting you people to take this one is helpful for the if you want to continue your career in the SAP. So okay, that is including server is the 3 months including server. 3 months we will provide the server. After if you want you can upgrade it. So that is the SAP. And then coming to the LIMS application. So we are providing the LIMS also. So we are providing theoretical knowledge for the LIMS and all completely basics from scratch. Like pharma knowledge also we are providing, and also we are providing the LIMS application also. So if you have any doubts, if you have any regarding this training program, you can connect with me directly. So I will help you out for the training program. And then fee structure also I will explain the one-to-one if you are okay with that. So it's not a much high. It's not much high fees. It's very less fees. Why? Because we are helping to the people to grow in their career in the LIMS application. So I'm already working. I'm getting good salaries and all. So that is enough for me. That not required much amount to me. But what is this thing is we need to help to the peoples to grow in their lives. So that's why this is the one thing. That's why we have started this training program. So if you are interested to take the training program for the LIMS or SAP, you can connect with me. Then I will let you know complete details and that one to one. If you are okay, then we will start with the next batch. So already one batch is going on training, and then we will start the next batch. Okay. This is the complete fee structure and all. I will explain you one to one. So do you have any doubts, any questions? Just ask me, then I will explain. Anyone having doubt?